What's up guys, Dr. Wiki here, and I want to take a moment to introduce you to a game that is being developed by Madfinger Games right now. It is coming up to early access relatively soon this year, and I am super excited for this title. I want to take a second to go through their most recent dev log that they dropped that has some really crucial information regarding the way missions can be structured, more importantly, how you're going to operate in these missions. But what's continually blowing me away about this game is the level of authenticity and realism that's being considered to make this an experience. If you're hooked, let's jump in. Oh man, does that make you excited or what? I'm going to let you guys know I'm super excited for Gray Zone Warfare. If you don't have your eyes on this amazing game that's coming up from Madfinger Studios, you really deserve to get your eyes on it, especially if you're into tactical shooters or any kind of simulators like Arma or even games like Tarkov. This game is shaping up to be something that I think is going to turn a lot of heads, to be honest. And recently they've dropped their second devlog. This studios have been amazing about their communication levels with the majority of the public, and it's really reinvigorating to see what they're doing here, and the attention to detail is unreal.
Gaming is fun, so I'm just glad that people are able to accept it for what it is and not trying to censor it, but just let it be what it be.
Literally. So let's get you guys up to speed on Gray Zone Warfare. Alright guys, welcome in here. Let's check this out. Here's their devlog. This is the most recent devlog that's dropped. There's some really cool information in here. None of it's like super groundbreaking or super new, but it does kind of flesh out one of the most important aspects of the game, in my opinion, and that is the missions or the quests and how you're going to approach these challenges, within the game that they've made very clear are going to be present. And so this devlog kind of feels like they dive into it head first, letting everybody know this is something that you can expect from the game. And what's really got me blown away is that they've got a collaborator who actually has military experience, and his name is Spicy.
That's a spicy meatball!
And you can catch an interview at the bottom of this dev blog post where he goes into depth about how he would approach this new mission that they are calling Rat's Nest that will be in the game. And so if you read on here, it's just saying, as a former special forces operative newly discovering the murky waters of private military contractors, you find yourself a newcomer to an abandoned Lemang Island, tasked with navigating its depths and completing objectives assigned by a cast of shady characters with enigmatic motives. You approach Handshake, a slick and professional head operator that always welcomes you with a task. Here's what he has to say to you. So we get a little snippet of what the NPC is going to look like, and I'm assuming this is all very early, whatever it is, or the way they want to present it early, so that you kind of get the idea of what they're doing with the missions as a whole, almost like a placeholder maybe, but the background is kind of what gives me that impression. And I guess that's not super important, but what is important here is that this mission that this guy's going to give you sounds incredible. Like whenever I'm playing a tactical shooter, I like to go into the depth of understanding what the real mission is, preparing for the mission, discussing how the mission's going to be executed, and then going through with the mission and being prepared, for Murphy, when he comes out, because everybody knows a good plan never survives first contact with the enemy, right?
At the beginning of the school year, he had buried a quart jar of pennies underneath his house. He drew a treasure map so he could find them again. A week later, his mom cleaned out his room and threw away the map.
And so, what's really cool about this is they go into depth about the mission itself, but then they also pose the question to Spicy, who's ex-SOF and actually had to do this kind of stuff for a living. 19 years experience in the field for Czech. So let's read on a little bit more here. So handshake. So here's the deal. It looks like some of those rats in town didn't get the memo and are still scurrying around and causing trouble. It's time to put a stop to their operations. Your mission is to conduct a thorough search of the town and its outskirts and identify the hideouts used by these punks. Keep your eyes peeled for any suspicious signs or markings that might help you uncover them. The main areas of interest are the town's northwest and southeast sections. Once you've identified the hideouts, investigate them discreetly. We want to gather as much information as possible before moving. Don't engage in direct confrontations unless absolutely necessary. Don't forget, your primary objectives are reconnaissance and gathering intelligence. So here's where the question comes in. How would you approach Handshake's assignment? And that is fucking amazing. I love that, because I don't like the hand holding that has taken place in a lot of recent games. They sell themselves as a tactical shooter or military shooter, and it feels like a regurgitation of the same stuff we've been doing for years. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go in stealth? Are you gonna go in guns blazing?
All right, chums up. Ready, guys? Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! Oh my God, he just ran in.
Like that's always the trope that they seem to fall on, and it kind of goes a little further here, and I will explain with evidence that they have here on the dev blog. But what I mean by that is, if you're going to go in and gather intelligence from some insurgents, right? You got to be careful, because any alarm is going to be an advantage for them, right? And that's also one of the things that I really appreciate about this, is because it feels like if shit goes south on this kind of mission, it's going to create more problems, and that's really what it would be like. And when you think of an insurgent element, the thing that they have on their side, more so than you do as a PMC, say, in this game, is their anonymity. They can disappear and move all that intelligence anywhere. And that is one of the most difficult things that I hear from people who have served in the military is, you don't know who is a soldier, because they're not dressed like soldiers. And so these guys, they're not dressed like soldiers.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
We can see a small picture of it here on the devlog. But in addition to engaging, these NPCs, you will be engaging other players in the form of PvP contact. From my understanding, there's three PMC factions in the game that you can work for, with the potential to maybe have the ability to join a fourth one. It's been alluded to, but not entirely confirmed for the game as of now. And the reason for that is because they want the mechanics that are involved with you even being able to work for this fourth group to feel natural, to be actually impacted by actions in the game that you directly take as a player while you're in the field. So really freaking awesome stuff, and just the level of consideration that's going into the game as a whole, as far as portraying the being there as a PMC and trying to figure out what's going on. Because what's happened here is this whole island has gone dark. There was some kind of an event, and now shit's kind of gone south, and PMCs are going in there to try and figure out what's going on. And so let's keep reading though. So how would you approach Handshake's assignment? There's no predetermined path to success. Beware of ever-changing environmental and PvP variables that could turn it into an intense firefight with a surprise enemy patrol or suspenseful standoff with rival PMCs. Therefore, remain vigilant and strategically leverage every available advantage that the intricate landscape of gray zone warfare presents. So, they go on to explain, preparation, and we kind of touched on that earlier, and how I believe that that's what makes a mission, like being able to prepare and execute the mission the way you have prepared for it is what takes a good game from being good to great. Like you have a great experience when you feel like you have agency in the game over how you answer the challenge, as well as how you're rewarded for it. So preparation is half the success. So focus on your mission, gather intel on the enemy and their base. Your plan needs to adhere to this goal. First and foremost, gear up and choose your weapon of choice wisely. Utilize a granular modification system to fine-tune every detail of your arsenal according to your preferences. Advanced ballistic systems leverage extensive real-world data. Every single modification can make a world of difference. So what they're talking about there is your ability to modify your equipment to be suited towards whatever mission you're on or conducting, right? So you wouldn't want to go into a reconnaissance mission most likely with like a lot of firepower. You probably want to stay light. You want to have the ability to even recon from a distance. Distance creates time, so the further away you could be and observe effectively, the better, because something else they touch on here is if they figure out that you're there, then it's really going to create more problems for you and it'll be, mission failed. So let's keep going here. Remember, staying undetected is the key. Opt for lightweight gear to move quietly and make a quick exit if needed. In the event of alerting the enemy, be ready to have at least one weapon with a silencer to resolve the unexpected situation. When strategizing for your mission, it is crucial to decide whether to go as lone wolf or as part of a 4-man fire team. Take into account their individual proficiencies and coordinate roles and equipment based on the strengths of each team member to optimize efficiency and ensure a successful operation. So you're talking with your buddies, what are you going to go in with? I think I might take a badger or a honey badger.
Oh, the honey badgers are just crazy.
And your other buddy's going to go, stand up rifleman, just grab an M4 platform. And maybe you got another guy who's going to go with some kind of a long rifle, and then maybe another support rifleman, or maybe even close quarters like shotgun or something. And it goes further than that though, because there's layers of equipment here that are to be considered. They kind of touch on this, and I don't know that it's been really confirmed yet, but having enough ammunition, right? The right optics, the right equipment for the job, all these things factor into your ability to do the mission. It does appear that there is some kind of an inventory system that's in place, and whether or not your intel is going to take space up in your inventory, that might also be a factor. If you got a small bag and it doesn't have the ability to carry, say, like a computer in it or something, and I'm just throwing this out there, but then you'd kind of be screwed, right? You wouldn't have the ability to carry it back, and if so, maybe you'd be burdened. You lose the ability to use your two-handed weapon, right? You can only use your pistol or something. I don't know, but that's what we have yet to see. But it feels like it's being alluded to that way with this communication here we have in the devlog, as well as communications in the past. So, master deployment and advancement. Be it for a short venture to accomplish a task or a massive undertaking to acquire new gear. Approaching a target area is a dangerous game. The diverse array of adversaries such as criminals, military in the service of local dictator, and rival PMC operatives can intervene in your steps. In your best interests, approach each location cautiously, whether on foot or on board the Little Bird, transporting you to the selected LZ, which you must discover first to unlock. Choosing the right landing zone is a critical part of your planning process, as the Little Bird can be visible from afar. Hence, a longer hike might sometimes be key to the success of a mission. Choosing to explore on foot not only enhances your overall progress, but also uncovers hidden gems in Lemang. You might stumble upon unexplored locations with scarce loot, or discover intriguing side stories, all while staying focused on achieving your main mission. So that's pretty exciting. You know, there's a factor of emergent play that can take place in the game, and that's another thing that I really enjoy about games like this is how is that emergent play taking place? Is it in the form of player engagement or player creativity, or are there elements from the game and the way it's been designed and made that are going to kind of pull you in different directions? You know, hey, check this out. This person says they need help, and if they help you, they'll maybe work on something for you, make a weapon modification or upgrade for you or something. You know, I'm just throwing this out there, but that's kind of what it feels like it's alluding to, is that kind of a dynamic within the world itself. You know, the fact that you gotta find your own LZ, or you gotta discover your own LZs, is really cool too. You know, if you are going in on a mission like this, in the interview that they had with Spicy, he talks about how he wouldn't use a helicopter to be inserted into this mission. He would actually go in on foot. So if he was to use a helicopter, he would go in. He said three clicks away, you know, which is 3,000 meters away from the target.
Why are you doing this?
I just felt like running. And
he says something about it taking a few hours to get there, you know, but that's just part of the game. And so I feel like that's kind of where this game is going to shine. You know, you got all these other considerations that might not be readily apparent to the player, but I feel that over time you'll start to learn these things organically in the game, and that's what's really cool, because that supersedes player skill, and it has more to do with how much the player is paying attention. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's going to be rewarding experiences waiting for us in Gray Zone Warfare for people who do pay attention. So let's keep going here. Adapt, survive, and thrive. The ultimate challenge in every operation unfolds when players encounter opposition. Moving carefully and start your surveillance. Track the movements of enemies, know how many come and go, and study patrol routes for any patterns. Flexibility and preparedness for the unexpected are equally crucial, so be ready for plans to deviate. Adjust swiftly to ensure survival in the face of unforeseen challenges. Keep in mind that that not every scenario warrants confrontation, and opting to steer clear of conflict can often lead to more favorable outcomes. The duration of your mission is solely determined by you. Every moment spent in the hot zone heightens the risk of your demise and the potential loss of your hard-earned progress. Yet, it also increases the odds of hitting the jackpot to complete your task. Always remember, every move matters, and that's something that I keep hearing. You know, every move matters. Every move matters. You know, with an interview that they've done with the head of the project here, and now again here. So celebrate only once you're safe. So once you've gathered enough intel and secured your loot, it's time to slip back to base with your findings, keeping your eyes peeled for any movement or sound until the last possible moment in a hot zone. Call in the little bird for extraction, approach the available LZ location in time, get to the chopper, and reach your base camp. It's time to celebrate the fruits of your completed task and claim the well-deserved reward. Deposit the valuable haul you collected into your secure stash, restock efficiently, and gear up for newly unlocked challenges. Every successful mission increases your odds of surviving your next venture. But it's critical to understand that other PMCs on the island may share similar objectives. You can collaborate, ignore, or things might take an unexpected turn. The dynamic paradise of Lemang Island is always alive. So, from there they go on to their interview with Spicy, who is ex-SOF, really great interview. I think it's about a 20-minute long video. Let's see here, 25 minutes. And if you guys have the time to watch it, I would highly suggest checking it out, because it is a really great interview. It kind of gives and provides insight as to where their focus is when it comes to the game as a whole. And then you also get the pleasure of being introduced to Spicy here, who is a collaborator for Madfinger with this project to bring about the authenticity and realism that can only be communicated by somebody who's been there, who's done it, who's been in the shit, and so that's really freaking cool. I really like that, and I know that's not a real new concept, it really isn't, but I feel like the attention to detail that's being put into this project is going to be really great. So let me know what you guys think of Gray Zone Warfare below in the comments. I'm super excited. This has been Dr. Wiki. I'll see you next time.